Hi everyone, this is Lori with Three Keys Astrology, and I am so happy to tell you that finally, after weeks and weeks of power struggles and darkness with our eclipse energy, we have a pretty spectacular week coming up in this forecast. This is your weekly forecast for May 13th through May 19th. My forecasts run Saturday to Saturday, and I think this is a week to really live. Now, we're promised a lot of new beginnings. Those of us in Taurus and Scorpio, Leo and Aquarius are in the crosshairs of fate. Our destinies are coming to be. Um, for all of we that are Taurus, happy birthday, my fellow Taurians. We get Jupiter this week ingressing into our sign. And Jupiter is a planet of blessing and bounty and higher. It's a blessing that can rocket ship your higher self into spheres of high spirituality and pure integrity. That's excellent. Benefiting this ingression of Jupiter into Taurus. It's you, Virgo, and it's you, Capricorn. This is wonderful, wonderful energy for us. Um, the biggest thing that I think is most special about this week, because I'm a mommy's girl, I am a mama and a grandma, is that it's Mother's Day. So let your mothers feel cherished and adored. Um, your relationship with your mother is key to your relationship with everyone. And in the society we live in today, mommies are forced to work outside of the home way too early. And if possible, maybe your new beginning can be that you can form a home business, or you and your husband can work together somehow so that your children get the deserved time they need, like in the days of old when mommies could be at home and afford to at least those primary um, years of the development of personality, the first 5 years of life. So let's celebrate our moms. If you're having trouble with your mom and you can't see eye to eye, I pray that in your maturity you can recognize your differences and appreciate your sameness and commonality. Um, this Mother's Day happens on Sunday, May 14th. And on that day, for some of us in parts of the world, Mercury goes direct. The next day, May 15th, Mercury also goes direct. But we still have two planets in retrograde. Pluto is, and Mercury is. And if you view the former forecasts, and you can go back on the channel and binge, please do share. When Mercury's in retrograde, it's an excellent time for you to repair the problems you have in communication, to say you're sorry, and to admit that you really want to be with each other and you'd like to be a functional family and not a dysfunctional family. Pluto's here to help you do that too, but not without some serious mental, physical, and emotional exploration. So this week is sweet. Mother's Day. This will be the final week for those of us that are Taurus having our birthdays. This will be the final week for us for another whole year to enjoy the power that is the Taurus sun. And that sun offers, it's Venus ruled. It offers beauty. That's why the earth is bursting in blossom. That's why everything's turning green. That's why you should be eating clean and living off the land and with your land and prospering your land. This is a time of the year when new birth happens in wildlife, and it is a time of new beginnings. This week is fresh, and it is those of you that did the work in these last few weeks when the energy was rather grim and morose. This is when you can put that past behind. This is when you can enjoy your fresh spaces, closets, attics, basements, garages, anywhere where you've been hoarding or cluttering and carrying garbage around that you no longer need or use. It's not too late for you to do that if you haven't, because Pluto is still retrograde. But the blessings this week are fresh, and it is going to be one very beautiful week. I encourage you, if you have the time, to make special dates each of these 7 days, because I love this forecast. But for a little bit of trying energy, May 17th. Otherwise, it is one very sweet week. The other big event happening this week is that on May 19th, we have a brand new moon at 28 degrees Taurus. And in that rare example that I gave you for the new moon we had on May the 5th, we've had two new moons in Aries, so to speak, and so will we be having new moons in Taurus because they're at critical and beginning degrees. And that's apropos for what I've been talking about, endings and beginnings and endings and beginnings. And I pray that you're living feeling cleansed, feeling whole, feeling validated, feeling loved. When the sun is in Taurus, ruled by Venus, and it is not the only planet, but this will be our final week, fellow Taurians and people of the earth, all the earth signs, Virgos and Capricorn. When the sun is in Taurus, this is a wonderful time of the year to measure all the checks and balances in your relationships, but more importantly, to measure your love barometer. Are you loving? Are you caring? Are you considerate? Are you thoughtful? These are all qualities that are Venus. Are you sitting back and giving people the opportunity to come and show you their goodness, their purity, their ability to share? And it is about relationships. You can look at the past week's videos when I've given you some very intricate astrological science as to how this is affecting you, because Taurus is about fertility and fecundity. It's prosperity for the land, for pregnancy. Lots of us are getting new family members, and there will be lots of pregnancy and conception happening this month of May. Taurus is a serene sign, a dutiful sign, a sign that has a lot of intrinsic power in stillness. So enjoy that this week also. But get yourselves outside in nature. Taurus babies are little nature lovers. We are happier outside, and we don't care what the element is. We're built sturdy, we're strong, and so it will be that the planet gets to enjoy this energy, not only because the sun is there in this final week, Jupiter's going to jump in there, which is a planet of high blessing. And then we've already had Uranus there a little bit in 2017, but he jumped in 2018 and remains there for 7 years. So we have the the beauty of Uranus in brand new breakthroughs, in oh my gosh, all of a sudden insights, in wow, brand new meetings with brand new exciting people and brand new beginnings. And also the most important North Node in Taurus. Nodes stay in a sign for 19 months, and they're always in the axis of opposition, are polar opposites. This is affecting Taurus and Scorpio mostly. We're the signs of sex and money. We're about intimacy. We're about how deeply we share or where we need to learn how to share. So all of these things, the sun, the moon with a new moon in Taurus, um, Mercury, how we communicate more deliberately, more thoughtfully, in truth and honesty in Taurus. Venus ruled. Venus doesn't lie. Venus isn't one of the malefic planets. She's one of the benefics with Jupiter. So we've got Venus ruled, Sun, Jupiter, North Node, Uranus, and Mercury retrograde helping you repair all your relationships, repair all issues with all children, adult children. If you're a mama or a papa, you know that our babies are our babies no matter their age. So this is an excellent time for mothers and children and families in general. The earth in heaven is pouring lots of fresh prosperity and many new beginnings. I am as excited about this forecast as I have been in months because we are going through so many changes that started pouring down on the earth, really difficult energies when Mars was too close to the Earth in 2018. And then the pandemic hit and washed over Asia and Europe in 2019 and hit America in 2020. And and the catastrophic events of Pluto's 2008 housing crisis and the demise of the financial institutions as we've known them and the power mongering that go into political agenda and elitism. It's being destroyed in this age of Aquarius. And this new freshness about how you use your money, what you spend your money on, This is a time because Saturn is in Pisces, beautifully complementing all those Taurian planets. Neptune is there too, saying you can ground your dreams. They can finally come true. You can support your family the way you want to. You do not have to be at the mercy of others. You can offer prosperity and goodness. Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces, but she's ruling Sun, North Node, Uranus, Mercury retrograde, and having Jupiter jump in there too. Great things. That means in harmony are also Saturn and Neptune. Guys, that's almost all the planets. Now, Pluto's kicking our hind ends. There's no question. He's not in a favorable position to any of these planets. He wants the bad people to be extinct. He wants your bad selves to be extinct. Um, I had a wonderful discussion with an entity in Washington, D.C. If you recall in last week's video, I asked you to join forces in legislation and group committees, whatever it takes to stop the corruption of intimacy, which is exploited in pornography and prostitution, human trafficking, and the sex trade. Um, you can find those websites on your own, and if you have, comment below and share them with those of us that are sick and tired of the demise of females and males who don't know how to relate otherwise. It's the destruction of love. Love is not a transaction. Relationships should not be transactional, or they will be very hollow. And this week in May, and as the blossoms pop all over the earth, as the sun shines very bright, as it always does in May, as we celebrate our mothers and our children, as we make holy our families and our land and ourselves so that we're a strong branch of the family tree generationally, you can definitely choose not to be involved with the dark energies. Those of you that are will still be going through effects of these eclipses, and you will still be wrestling with Pluto, especially Thursday this week. So, with that, I want to remind you, just let me take a moment here, get my little notes for my weekly forecasts. I'll dive into those days, but I just would like to tell you, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for joining. All of you that are making comments, April, always Kathleen, forever Emma, means a lot to me. We astrologers are creators and put a lot of time and effort into our works, and I'm delighted that you care and that you're always paying attention and that you're living and feeling these very palpable energies, because we're made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, just like a tiny bit of nitrogen, just like the planets that are alive and breathing and are as alive as you are each and every day, as a newborn baby is, and as these trees who offer us their growth every spring. You're being offered a ton of growth right now, especially Taurus and Scorpio, but the whole world gets to feel this. So I want to remind you about Pluto, and I've done a lot of work for you on Pluto in these last few weeks, and Black Moon Lilith. They're entities of the same energy. One is female, one is male, archetypally and mythologically, but the essence of the energy is basically an inner lack within oneself that can never be fulfilled, that needs and needs and needs with greed and can't stand the anxiety that comes when one is suffering a lack. That's that shaky feeling of withdrawal symptoms if you're alcoholic or drug addicted. It is same thing with sex addiction. It is an insatiable greed, a vortex of emptiness, where you thieve and you steal and you um, become animal in your survival in some way or some form, and it's destructive. Make no mistake, it's not only self destructive, because, like the boomerang of any dirty deed, it will come back to you. That's fated nodes, that's destiny, that's karmic, that's those are one of the laws of the universe. And if you don't know what they are, I suggest you go learn. You'll be very interested. Those of you scientists like myself who love physics and chemistry, biochemistry, and see the relationship of heavens and celestial realm realm in our cosmology to our physical biology. It's a real palpable thing. So I just want to remind you again about some Pluto things because he's an antagonist right now. So name that character in your presence. Who in your life? Is it a boss? Is it an adult child? Is it a former spouse? Is it a current spouse? Is it a neighbor? Is it someone within your friendship group? Who is playing Pluto or Black Moon Lilith in your life? Name that person. It can be a situation, an impossible work atmosphere, a work environment. It can be a disease you're dealing with. Um, Anything that's trying to destroy your joy, your peace, your serenity, and happiness. So I want to talk to you, just to give you a little reminder. Pluto is our detractor. He's the enemy right now. He's This energy is intensity, compulsion, obsession, and it is power struggles. It is always over money and sex. That's what people fight about most. They don't maybe want to admit it. That's the crux of things. It's addiction, smoking, drinking, gluttony in your food intake, but and it's unstoppable willpower ultimately, and it gives you via loss, some kind of purging, some kind of extinction, or death. It gives you this in death. There's so many people on this earth. Read stories, talk to people, talk to grandparents. Family struggles are inevitable. It's part of our growth and our process. But people will tell you time after time when that moment comes and it's too late and your mother or father are deceased. You can't reconcile anymore but through spirituality, but through your faith. And you have the opportunity, especially when the world is celebrating mommies all over the world. And do not forget the most beautiful mother of all, our Blessed Mother. I have a most beautiful 16th century picture in my home that I've shared on this channel. And Mother's Day always falls on a holy day, a day to be with family, to go to church together, to pray for other people that have share your faith. So this is really a very precious week, and I want to focus on the goodness, and I am going to tell you, I'm going to repeat again the big events of the week. We've got Mother's Day. This is the last week of the Taurus sun, who's going to share her energy. Always Venus ruled, always loving, caring, compassionate, and kind, our Taurian people. She's going to saturate the energy of her quintessential goodness of value and morality and high standards with Jupiter, the North Node, Uranus, the sunshine. And that's a big deal. Jupiter pops in on May 16th, blessing we that are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. It stays there for a year. That's yummy, yummy, yummy goodness for us. Doesn't happen for us again for 12 years. Mercury is going to station direct on either May 14th or May 15th, depending where you live in the world. She also is in Taurus, or he. Mercury is a childlike energy, but it's your mental ability and your communication propensity. We also have a new moon in Taurus at 28 degrees on May 19th. So this is a great week, and I'm going to start with May 13th, Saturday. Um, One of my favorite moons ever. Well, they're the water sign moons, actually. Although I'm a double Taurus, I love me water people. They're emotional, and they're feeling, and they're sensual, and they're connected. So shout out to you, Cancer, to you, Scorpio, and to you, oh gosh, I just drew a blank. Pisces, my favorite of all, duh. Okay, so the moon will be in Pisces on Saturday the 13th, and um, if you want to get married in church on a Sunday, this is an excellent day to do it. The thing that you need for a marriage everlasting is Venus to be together with Saturn, and there's a trine between these two energies, and that is so beautiful. It's an excellent day for mommies and their babies. So play with your babies, have fun, show them the mysteries of nature and the flowers that are blossoming. Teach them the name of trees and plants, and play in the mud, play in the creeks. Go feel how alive the earth is. This is a great week to be alive. Mercury, or this moon, is also conjunct Saturn, And that's emotional stability. That's emotional security. That's getting really realistic. And this blesses all families, all lovers, all friendships. Then the moon's in a trine with Venus, too. You guys, I'm telling you, this week is a treasure. And that's harmony for mothers and daughters, for public, and it is enjoying the things we value, the things that mean the most to us. And again, it's got strong themes of nature and freshness, new beginnings, new homes. This energy is blessing new homes. It's time for us to put some fresh paint on, to landscape our yard, to plant our flowers in our gardens, and to prosper and to really enjoy being salt of the earth people. For we're made of bones that are earthy, and we are from dust we go, and from dust we'll return, says our Bible. And this is some of the beauty that is the energy of the earth. Um, that's an excellent day, Saturday. Here comes Mother's Day, and oh my goodness, also so good. First thing is, Mercury's going to station direct in Taurus, so be forthcoming with your love, with your generosity, with your bounty. Give, 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 share, 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 especially to children. Spoil them. Give them gifts, give them love, teach them about God and about their ancestors. Validate them, give them a strong identity. Taurus mommies do that for their babies, and so should you. The moon is still in sweet, peaceful, loving, and serene Pisces. Pisces are dreamers and they're poetic. They're lovers. Tauruses are lovers. The sensuality meter is higher than it'll be any time of the year right now. So make lots of love, make lots of music, create and paint and draw and sculpt and get all into art. Taurus rules the arts, Pisces rules the arts. This is a wonderful time to express yourself, especially with Mercury going direct. The moon's going to be sextile Uranus again. That's brand new inventions, great new ideas, insights, um, breakthroughs in families and communications, breakthroughs for people that are at war with each other. This is beautiful. The moon and sun are in sextile too, and that's that good, yummy, snuggly energy when you're just lost and enveloped in someone's arms, when you two become one. These are great days to get married. This is a wonderful week for that. The moon is sextile the sun. That's harmony between the sexes, between public and authority. At your jobs, in your families, in your homes, in your neighborhoods, you can't get any better. The moon is trining Mars. That's purposeful willpower that's in line with your feelings. I want to ask her to marry me. I want to tell him, yes, I'll marry him. I want us to build a home together. I want to go out with you. I want us to make a family. Let's make a baby. That's all the wonderful energy when the moon and Mars are together. That's literally that your feelings are in complete synchronicity and harmony with your actions and your willpower. It's unstoppable. It's truthful. It's honest. It's pure. It's real. And it's gorgeous energy. This, especially, the people that are most especially going to love this energy are Taurus, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and um, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorns, and it's yummy. This is so, so good. Um, Next, we've got May 15th on Monday. Now the moon's going to move into Aries. So the new moon that's coming up later on in the week is also going to be very Taurian. The themes of Taurus, the themes of your emotional life, and the themes of what you want for security in materialism and in survival are still real strong. But the moon's going to move into Aries on Monday, and that is got its challenges. It's a day of the week on Monday when you can have some conflict. Females, maybe in your workplace, are contesting each other. Mothers and daughters can have some little squabbles and misunderstandings. But overall, Monday is sweet because the moon is in a sextile to Pluto, one of my favorite energies ever. That means you did the work, you purged the poison, you got rid of the filth in your life and the secrets and the lies and the deceptions, and the family is healthier, happier. Daddy's not an alcoholic anymore. Mommy's not taking drugs behind the scene and numbing out and disappearing and not being there when the children get home from school. Moon sextile Pluto says, my family's clean. We're holy. We're healthy. We're not dabbling in drugs or anything that's underground and immoral. We got it going on. We're a family that's bright, that shines, that gives, that loves, that cares. I love that. And then the moon is in a trine to Neptune. I'm sorry, the Mars is in a trine to Neptune. Now, I teach my students that one of the signatures for alcoholism is Mars in a conflict with Neptune. That's the same thing for all addictions. But when the moon is in a trine to Neptune, or Mars is in a trine to Neptune, this is the energy of your favorite movie that you've ever watched. Remember those people behind the scenes, the writers. Moon, Mars, trining, sorry, I keep saying moon and I mean to say Mars. Mars trining Neptune is that creative, oh, excuse me, please. I'm fighting off a cold and I have some tickles in my throat. If you're Cancer, comment below. You probably are too. If you're Taurus, you probably are too, and you too, Pisces. Excuse me, please. So Mars trining Neptune. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Please excuse me. Mars trining Neptune are choreographers, um, designers, architects, inventors, anyone who's receiving the Neptunian wisdom, whether it's coming from the books in the libraries of heaven, in those celestial halls of philosophy, whether it's insight coming from our ancestors passed on, those doctors of higher spiritual ability, and gods and goddesses, if you will, of mythological archetype energies. When there comes a time in life when we realize that the best things in life come from heaven. Good ideas do. Musical inspiration, the ability to write songs or write movies or create in any form, any art form. This is all heaven sent. You're born with gifts and talents, and this is the energy that says when Mars joins Neptune, you can make manifest on planet Earth. That inspiration is what writes books, what writes music, what gives us our songs. And this is also gifted to all of mankind this week on May 15th, and I love that energy. On May 16th, as I told you, Jupiter ingresses into Taurus, and this is a huge blessing. This means we Taurians are getting new family members. And as the population decreases by economy and infertility, one of the complications of Pluto and Aquarius and the interceding, how can I say that? When mankind tries to play God with what is natural, like giving birth and fertility, there are consequences. In the age of Aquarius, there's a lot of people that are destroying and corrupting the natural process of our fertility, and it is causing an increase in infertility, along with other environmental factors that give toxicity. When Jupiter moves into Taurus, though, Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Capricorn, we're all likely to have new babies in the family. I can tell you where conception's going to happen. I predicted births before women have missed their periods. I predicted new family members before people even knew they were pregnant because of the science that is 5,000 to 6,000 years old, astrology. There's going to be a lot of conception, especially if you, let me think for a moment, 159, if you're Virgo rising, let's see, no, if you are Capricorn rising, you could very well, if you want to be pregnant, be blessed with pregnancy this year. That's pretty exciting. As I said earlier, Jupiter's going to stay in Taurus for an entire year. So wherever in your birth chart, pull one up or come and get a reading from me. All of my services are available at www.3keysastrology.com. And if wherever Jupiter is in your planet, it expands the energy of what's there already. It's bringing blessings. But if it's attached to harmful planets, it can exaggerate the harmful situations there. That's why you need an astrologer. But take a look. Go pull your chart up if you're a beginning astrologer. Go see where your Taurus planets are. Comment below if you want to know and you would like my help. And if I have the time, I shall. Um, I'll pop in and tell you. Don't forget, in the last video, I offered a free Zoom webinar to 100 of you who have to provide for me your 3 keys, or if you don't know them, your birth time, birthplace, and birth date. Birth time, be sure to include AM and PM. And if I get 100 comments on that last video, we're going to spend an hour or two where you're going to be invited to a free Zoom webinar about what Pluto's doing and how important it is in your own life. So back to Jupiter's ingression into Taurus. Um, all of we that are Taurus, think back to 12 years ago, a cycle's ending from then. And you've got high blessings, especially when, if Jupiter's touching your sun, this can help you become a better person. It'll help you in status. It'll help you in achievement. It will help you in vitality. And if it's attached to your moon, it's going to be the highest understanding. It'll help you change your family dynamics. It's a big blessing for your family, and it can be financial. Um, if it's attached to Mercury, it's going to give you the ability to excel in all your studies and all your learning and teaching and communications. It'll help you form groups and increase prosperity in any group that you're in charge of. If it attaches to Venus, oh my goodness, and it is for all of us that are Taurus, love is going to be the answer and the matter and bountiful and blessing, and it's so good. Any planet you have where Jupiter and Venus, the two benefics, come together, that's high prosperity. That's going to be an abundance. This will be a great week for the market. If you're an investor or you want to tweak your portfolio, think of themes that have to do with prospering the earth, benefiting mankind, new invention in medicine. You can't go wrong, trust me on this. Anything medical, anything technological. Go look at those people that are trying to make our world a better place, that are in line with your values. And this is about life and health and goodness. And there are going to be scientific breakthroughs and medical breakthroughs, I promise you. So this is going to be the best week for the market. This is my favorite week of the month of May. And but for May 17th, I'm loving every day. On May 17th, here we are. Um, this means this, let's see, yeah. Okay, I already talked to you about how a mother's love for when this ingression goes, if Jupiter goes into Taurus. Sorry, I just got a little distracted. I just want to say God bless mamas and God bless babies in the animal kingdom, in the people kingdom, all over the world. A mother's love gives you grounding, gives you security, gives you comfort, and gives you identity. And if you're unfortunate in life, like many of us have been, to lose our mothers when we're young, you can still get a mother's love in your grandmas and your great grandmas. And if you are at a loss or an adopted child or an orphan child, you can get a mother's love always with our Heavenly Mother, our Virgin Mary. There's family members and people who will come into your life if your heart is open that will care for you. And you can embody that. That is the energy of Taurus and Cancer. We're very motherly signs. And no one in this world should be without a loving, caring, nurturing mother. If you've had family problems, and we all do, anyone who pretends they have a perfect family is telling you stories. Every single family has its struggles. But this, with Mercury going into retrograde and Jupiter bouncing into that group of planets, the North Node, Uranus, the Sun, Mercury retrograde going station direct this week, you have the ability this week to make up and stop breaking up with your mom And and if she's someone impossible, realize your part in it. Accept her for who she is, because there will come a time when you won't be able to say you're sorry and you won't be able to make up anymore. And I wouldn't want you to live with that. So I wish for you that this whole week long you feel the goodness and freshness of all these brand new beginnings and excuse me, the health that's being offered your family. Now, May 17th is the day that I told you that's a little difficult. Um, this is the toughest day of the week, and it's going to be very, very hard for you that are involved, that have family dysfunction. Those of you that are involved in those fatal attractions and those hellish relationships that are driven by suspicion and are contaminated by infidelity. Um, this is going to be really, really tough because the moon's in a square to um, Mars. This is a bad day for war. It's also in a square to Pluto. This is death and warfare and endings of relationships. Um, there are a couple of really nice things. This is going to be very, very hard for dysfunctional families and societies with Moon squaring Mars, which is warring. It can be inner conflict in your feelings. It can be fighting in the family, fighting with your mom. Mothers and sons can be in a conflict this day. And then the Moon squaring Pluto can be the death of our mothers and the death of the public in these warring countries. It's not good. This is not a good day. But goodness can be gained if you stay thoughtful and stay humble, because one of the other problematic things are that Jupiter is going to be squaring Pluto. And this is going to, we're going to see political, one-upping when candidates are going to be trying to get you to vote for them by shaming another candidate. Well, that in and of itself tells you the integrity of the candidate putting the other candidate down isn't very intellectual, doesn't know how to do resolution, and can't get along with people, so don't vote for that guy. But this Jupiter squaring Pluto's high social unrest, and it's heightened. And it also inflates those demonic and domineering despots that I've talked to you about in those relationships that are unbalanced and not equal in power. Things can get out of order fast on May 17th. But there's some goodness. The moon is going to be conjunct Jupiter because she's going to move into Taurus, and then the moon is going to be sextiling Saturn. This happens later on in the day on May 17th. Again, moon sextile Saturn, you want this when you're making commitments, signing binding contracts, forming businesses, making family, embracing new family members, marriages happening, new homes and are purchased and new land contracts are signed. This is excellent energy. Moon sextile Saturn says, I'm in it. I'm never going to quit it. I'm in it till the end. It is the death do us part energy. Moon conjunct Jupiter is dreams come true. You meeting the one you've always loved, or you living the dream that you dreamed. That writer that sits alone in his silence with those ideas from heaven, then scratches these ideas onto paper and then sits at a typewriter and forms that idea into words that eventually gets to a publisher and then gets into the hands of the public. This is Moon sextile Saturn and Moon conjunct Jupiter. Publishing is ruled by Jupiter, so any of you Taurians like me that are writers or creators, publish your works this year. Publishers will want to take you on. You'll get copyrighted. You'll get your work into the public at large in a grand way. So that happens in the evening. There's some good energy on the 17th, but the other energy for those in dysfunction and public unrest is going to be strong. Now, on May 18th, again, another blessed, beautiful day. The sun is sextiling Neptune. You find this in the birth charts of clergy. These are people that have a reverence and a high calling to serve God. They can't do anything else. They're tuned, their sun is in a line with heavenly energy. This is beautiful. This is beautiful for graduations and for acknowledging and admiring the accomplishments of those people that have become a better person through education and service and spirituality, devotion and dedication, and faith. This is a day to go to church, though it's May 18th. This is a day to get down on your knees and get serious and real about the person that God made you. The moon is in a sextile to Venus. This is excellent for the market. That's the public being benefited with prosperity. This is sister energy. That's so good. This is mother and daughter get togethers. This is great for girlfriend getaways and dates. This is great for beautifying home and land, for planting those trees, fertilizing those gardens, planting those seeds, and sharing whatever you have in abundance with any of the females in your family. Do it, do it, do it. It's fun for little girls to be imaginative and to feel special. All the women in our lives to feel special. And then the moon is in a conjunction to Uranus. And this, again, I always tell you, is great breakthrough. It's families that have overcome crisis. It is people that choose to live new. It's brand new breakthroughs, brand new meetings, brand new homes, brand new ideas. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. It's genius energy. And you can get a lot of good ideas that you make manifest this week. Your feelings are heightened. Emotions are better, brighter, bigger, fresher, just like the blossoms on the trees. I love it. May 19th, I gotta tell you, I love it too. May 19th, we get our new moon in Taurus. And then we've got Mercury sextiling Saturn. This is great for little boys and their daddies. This is great for time spent together with children and grandfathers. This is masculine energy and grounded energy and giving fruit and fodder and survival and blessing and something making a family feel secure where children are. This is great for foundations that serve children. Children's services can get a benefactor with this energy. Again, it's a great day for the market. The moon sextiling Neptune. One of my favorite jams. You're going to feel a little dreamy. You're going to feel a little drunky, a little bit in love. You're going to feel like you're floating. We all will. This is energy of the bliss that is post orgasmic for couples that share that sacred bond and union. And the moon's going to sext or conjunct the sun. That's what happens whenever there's a new moon. This is a day that there's a lot of babies that are going to be made. This day is for conception, intellectual, emotional, physical, and mental. Physical conception is you made a baby. A lot of baby making is going to be happening this week. And I love this. Fresh new life, fresh new beginnings. If this isn't good enough, guys, the moon is sextiling Mars. That is that whatever your heart desires, you can make happen. If you've had a crush on someone, go tell them. If you want to ask someone out, ask them. If you want to make a proposal, do it. May is a month of so much love. Um, and it has been from time immemorial, antiquity through the Middle Ages, through the Golden Age, through the Iron Age, through the Bronze Age. May is promising. May is bountiful. May is fresh. If that's not good enough, the moon is in a trine to Pluto. And this, again, is a kind of energy you want when you're groundbreaking new ideas, when you're forming businesses, when you're forming alliances, when families are coming together, two families to make one. This is beautiful, beautiful energy. Later on in the day, at 3 p.m., the moon's going to move into Gemini. And so things start to change a little bit this day, but my forecasts only go Saturday to Saturday. So I'm going to end this video reminding you that Mercury in retrograde in Taurus is helping you make up, not break up. That Pluto retrograde is helping you get rid of all the dirt, the filth, any sin, anything that you're embarrassed about, shameful about, or guilty about. And that's wonderful. It's a cleansing. Pluto ultimately, you won't have a choice. He's going to come in. You'll get arrested. You'll get embarrassed. If you're doing these Plutonian, devilish, awful things that are Lilith and Pluto, Pluto demands that you behave better. And he's coming in strong for you, Aquarius. He's retrograde right now. So Capricorn, where he's been, still you've got a little bit of purging to do. We all do. And I want to leave this forecast reminding you this is the best one that I have seen. The energies are the best celestial that I have seen since 2023 gifted us a brand new year. And so I hope, like blossoms, you'll be bursting with love, joy, happiness, and peace, that you'll feel secure, that you'll be excited about these new beginnings. Those of you that have graduated, congratulations. Those of you that have been confirmed, congratulations. That you're confirmed means your family cared, that they baptized you, that they taught you what it meant to be goodness and light, that they taught you how much Jesus loved you. And for all of you making babies this week, these sweet little babies conceived at this time, we do conception readings too. Those of us that are antiquated and historical in our astrology sciences. And your conception date has a lot to do with um, you as a soul before that birth date gives you your birth chart, which is a more earthly map of what your life will be like in destiny, in choice, and in challenge. And if you like my teachings, please comment below. Thank you so much. I am an astrology teacher. I have had students all over the world that I adore, and I will continue to teach. And you can expect some publications from me, a double Taurus, Cancer rising, because Jupiter's popping in on me and it's prosperity for us that are creative. So whether you're a sculptor, a dancer, a painter, a musician, this is huge blessing. And I just leave you praying that God bless all of you mothers and babies and daddies that still believe in the Holy Family, that fight for our conservative rights to be separate from government in the way we raise our children and the things that we value. For all of you that believe that natural is better than synthetic in our medicines and in our food. And that's a big fresh theme too this week. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. You make me happy for sharing my work and for loving it. I love it. I will do this until my last breath. This job doesn't feel like work. Take care, everyone. Bye for now. Enjoy this beautiful, beautiful week. God's given us a really good one.